Arnie from PropFire, and I would just want to run through with you how to create an effective business proposal. And it might not be what you think. Yes, I'm in a room with two windows, so that's what you're seeing. The first thing to remember about a proposal is that it is not a sales tool or a sales pitch. It should only be presented after you've already spoken with a potential client and performed some sort of discovery to understand what the client is looking for, and that the client understands what you have to offer. And you've already had a meeting of the minds regarding the work that it's required, and you also understand what the client's budget is. And he understands what your general ballpark figure is. Now, once you have that meeting of the minds, that's when you present your proposal. Now, Alan Weiss, the guru of $1 Million Consulting, talks about this in his book, $1 Million Proposals. The proposal is not part of the sales process. It is part of the implementation process. So once you've already spoken with the client, performed some discovery, have a meeting of the minds, then the client has already bought into using you, all right? He already trusts you. Now, all he needs to know is exactly what you're going to do, how long it's going to take, and how much it's going to cost. Now, contrary to what most proposal software companies want you to believe, clients do not choose vendors based on the design or beauty of their proposal, okay? Unless maybe if you're a creative design agency, in which case design does matter because that's what you're going to be doing. But for most clients, especially the small and mid-sized ones, they couldn't care less about, they don't want to see a 20 to 30 per page proposal full of graphics and images and videos. They want a 2 to 3 page proposal just telling them what you're going to do, how long it's going to take, and how much it's going to cost. Remember, they already know who you are. Okay, now it's just a matter of agreeing on the price. So your proposal should have this. I mean, obviously it should be professional looking, neatly laid out. But again, forget about the images and videos and graphics. It's all about the content, concise, specific, and neat. Your proposal should have your company logo or branding. It should have a title, like web development proposal, for instance. You want to include the client name and the date. You should have a very brief objective section where in a couple of sentences you explain what the objective of the project is. No, this should not be 3 pages talking about problems and potentials, and it should just say what you're going to do, because that's what the client wants to know. Then you need a bulleted list of deliverables or services that you will provide. Okay, and I say bullets because the client just wants to, look at them, skim through it. It's not a chapter for each one. Okay, you should also include a description of your process, how you will carry out the project, how you will work with the client, what the client responsibilities are going to be in this process. Now, this can also be a bulleted list. You want to make it as easy as possible for the client to get through this as quickly as possible. Next, you want to have the time frame of the project. How long is it going to take? Obviously, this is going to be an estimate, but you want to make it clear to the client that if they cooperate with you, they give you whatever you need, you can finish the project in your estimated time. And finally, pricing. Now, ideally, you want to give the client 2 to 3 pricing options. I think the research shows 3 pricing options are the best, and that is proven to be more effective in getting the client to agree to one of those. There's a lot more to be said about the pricing options, which we can do in another blog post or video. You want to have terms, okay, like payment schedule, the form of payment, cancellation policy. But you don't want to have too many terms. You want to keep them as brief as possible because, again, as Alan Weiss talks about, you don't want to get the lawyers involved because once you get lawyers involved, then you're talking about months, okay? And a greater potential of non-acceptance. So you keep your proposals, your terms, just a few of them, and you'll be safe. And also, you want to have a way for the client to sign or agree, accept the proposal. Now, once you've created your proposal, and this is important, you want to get it to the client as quickly as possible. Because the longer it takes you to get the proposal to the client, the more time the client has to get busy with other things and forget about you. As the man said, strike while the iron is hot. You've got the client, you've got the meeting of the minds. They're hot on working with you. You don't want to give them an extra week or two to cool off and get busy with other things. And this happens a lot because this is what usually happens, that a consultant will have a meeting with the client. Things will go well. They'll reach a meeting of the minds. Then you go home. You sit down your computer. You open up your Google Docs or whatever you're working with. And then you spend another half a day creating a proposal. And then you get distracted with other work and something comes up. The next thing you know it's already 4 or 5 days a week before you've sent out your proposal. Okay? And that's too long. So these are the things that you need for a proposal. Now, most people start off with a proposal. They think of proposal. They start searching for a design template, a beautiful design template. And then they start playing around with that design and trying to fit their content in that design. Okay? They haven't even met with the client. They have no discovery. And even if they had, again, the design is not key. What is key is content, relationship, and conciseness. So if you want to create an effective proposal and one that you can do quickly, even at a client meeting, then try out propfire.com, which is the software that I created as a consultant with experience in creating proposals for small and mid-sized clients. I know what they're looking for, and I'm using my own software for my own proposals because I created it specifically for the purposes. So if you're a consultant, a freelancer, or an agency that deals with small, mid-sized clients, even large ones, okay, then you want to try this software because it's going to allow you to create effective proposals faster and easier than you could ever have imagined, even at a client meeting. So go to propfire.com and take a 14-day free trial, no credit card required, and let me know what you think.